Wiped out Russia loses 2 more commanders as raging Putin orders brutal purge over Ukraine war disaster after battle plans leaked. 2 more of Vladimir Putin's top commanders have died in Ukraine as the death toll continues to mount in Russia's disastrous invasion. Kremlin officials are reported to have launched a purge of those they believe responsible for the bloody catastrophe that has seen up to 15,300 Russian soldiers killed in Ukraine. Major Dmitry Toptun, who led a motorized battalion, was reported to have been blown up when his armored vehicle was hit by an anti-tank missile while fighting in Izium, near Kharkiv. And elsewhere, paratrooper commander Major Alexei Osakhin is also reported to have been killed during the fighting in Ukraine. The duo add to the death toll as it is estimated some 17 of Putin's senior commanders have died since Putin invaded last month. Meanwhile, 3 Spetsnaz Special Forces commandos, including one dubbed Agent Stalin after the vicious Soviet leader, were liquidated during the battle for Mariupol. Putin had expected to roll over Ukraine in a matter of days, but the war has ended up seeing his forces bogged down for almost a month with little progress being made. Kyiv still stands and Ukrainian forces are reported to actually be pushing back in certain areas, retaking areas previously lost to the Russians. Moscow's forces appear to have pushed into Ukraine while under-equipped, undersupplied and undertrained, and have found themselves being broken against the resistance. Ukraine is now littered with the burnt-out wrecks of Russian tanks and armored vehicles, the charred shells of crashed aircraft, and the dead bodies of Russian soldiers, many of who were teenage conscripts. Putin's cronies have now reportedly launched a vicious witch hunt to root out the guilty men behind the failures in Ukraine. Sources claim the mad tyrant is incandescent, that the US and Britain have received leaks of his military plans which have been passed on to the Ukrainians. It is believed this alleged leak is seen in part as the reason why top generals and his most elite forces have been targeted so effectively and picked off. The war continues, with intense fighting particularly focused on the city of Mariupol, which has been decimated by an ongoing barrage by Russian artillery and warships. Ukraine continues to hold the Russians back, however, with reports Moscow lost 3 members of the top Special Forces Spetsnaz. The 3 were named as Captain Konstantin Drushkov, 33, Islam Abdurajimov, 19 and Shamil Aseldarov, age not specified. Documents linked to the men were found in a captured Tiger armored vehicle. The captain is believed to have used the pseudonym Konstantin Zugashvili. Zugashvili was the real family name of the Soviet Union's brutal wartime leader, Joseph Stalin. And amid these mounting losses, anti-war sentiment is growing in Russia, with more than 15,000 protesters arrested in a brutal crackdown. Putin is reported to even growing wary of his close ally and vacation friend Sergei Shoigu, Russia's defense minister, in overall charge of the bloody military operation. His public appearances have been significantly curtailed in the past week, while his younger daughter Ksenia, 31, was seen posing in Ukrainian colors of blue and yellow. It has been reported the top defense official may be suffering from health problems. Sources say Putin has been dismissive in private of longtime ally Alexander Bortnikov, FSB security service head, and started snapping in meetings at Valery Gerasimov, chief of the Russian General Staff. Bortnikov has been spoken of as a stand-in leader should Putin fall in a coup. Another target of Putin's fury is Igor Kostyukov, deputy chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces, who may face imminent removal as part of a wider purge. Earlier ahead of the invasion he publicly humiliated SVR Foreign Intelligence Chief Sergei Naryshkin. Yet Putin is reportedly more concerned with losses of military hardware, for which he has blamed Gerasimov, than more battlefield casualties. Some believe he is planning for a deal he will sell as a Ukrainian surrender and a victory parade in Moscow in early May. He is incandescent that US and UK intelligence appear to know the Russian army's next moves all the time, starting with predicting the invasion before he was ready to acknowledge it, said one source. The loss of half a dozen generals is seen as linked to these real-time leaks of his military operation movements. Russian security expert Andrei Soldatov said military counterintelligence is probing an FSB security service department. That could mean that, finally, people in Moscow started asking themselves why the US intelligence was so accurate, he told The New Yorker. Military counterintelligence is mostly about mole hunting, identifying the sources of leaks. So it looks like now Putin is getting angry, not only with bad intelligence and the bad performance in Ukraine, but also about the sourcing of the US intelligence about the invasion, and why US intelligence was so good before the invasion, and why the Americans knew so many things about what was coming. He also believes Putin in blaming his underlings for the lack of popular support in Ukraine for the Russian troops, as if locals were expected to cheer the arrival of the invaders. He said Putin's top retinue are scared to tell him the truth. You have so many people now in jail, even people from the FSB. So if you think, from the point of view of a military general, is it really safe to say something to Putin that he would not like? I think it's a big challenge for them. The climate of fear means that intelligence on the scale of Ukraine's likely resistance to Russian invaders was hidden from Putin. But Soldatov does not expect a move by his inner circle to assassinate Putin, despite the increasing hostile treatment they face. I think now Putin is almost in no danger, he told ZDF Hut in Germany. He has two security services, who are primarily responsible for ensuring that nothing happens to Putin personally. We know that he himself is a former intelligence officer, who understands the different risks. He often claims that he successfully survived from 12 to 13 assassination attempts on his life. In this sense, everything is safe for him. It comes as a UK military expert claims Russian troop morale is collapsing in the face of heavy casualties and logistical nightmares. Professor Michael Clark, former director of the Royal United Services Institute think tank, said on Thursday, "The Russians are making almost every tactical mistake it is possible to make." He said, "The Ukrainians are stalling the Russian advance in all areas and operating quite effective counterattacks. The Russians are losing a lot of equipment and troops. Putin is becoming so desperate he is recruiting mercenaries and private contractors to boost his depleted forces." Morale among Russian troops is believed to have collapsed, with some now shooting themselves to avoid being sent to the front line. Ukraine claims as many as 15,300 Russian troops have been killed, more than 200 aircraft have been destroyed, along with more than 500 tanks, 1,500 armored vehicles and 70 fuel trucks. In one intercepted conversation, a Russian said, "They've been shooting at us for 14 days. We're scared. We're stealing food, breaking into houses. We're killing civilians. Officers shoot themselves in the legs to go home. There are corpses everywhere." Another said troops look for Ukrainian ammunition to shoot themselves in the legs and go to hospital. Ukraine's hero President Volodymyr Zelensky yesterday said he believes his country is teetering on the brink of survival as he decried the Russians' barbarism.